All right, everybody, welcome in to Pickaxe and Roll, brought to you by our good friends here at Peckish. I am your host, Ryan Blackburn at NBA Blackburn on Twitter, part of the Mile High Sports Podcast Network, and I'm joined here today by a very special guest, my producer, who you often see in the booth when we're elsewhere, but now here you are in
side by side
front of the camera. It's what a guy in the Mile High Sports Joker tee as well.
Yeah,
that's always great to see.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things we've ever done. If you're down here at Peckish, you can get one of these Joker tees. All you got to do is enter to win.
Gotta love it. And we've got a couple of giveaways that we've got here at Peckish. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop on by. I've been very excited about this all week, man. I've been looking forward to it because I know for sure that Peckish, they're giving you some great opportunities here for some pizza and some wings in the DTC area. Also got a location in Boulder, and just very much enjoy whenever I'm able to stop by. We're doing a deal with Peckish here. Very excited to be a part of things. And Danny, tell me a little bit about your experience here at Peckish and just what you've really enjoyed.
Yeah, so we've been partnered with Peckish for a while. We've been doing a lot of stuff with the CU Buffs here at Peckish. They've got CU gear all over the place. They've also got that location up in Boulder. But great wings, unique pizza, like one-of-a-kind pizza. It's unlike anything else you're going to get in Denver. And they got some really, really great flavors. Combinations of toppings that you wouldn't necessarily find at other places. And then the wings, of course. Oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to these wings for the whole week, Ryan. I was fighting to not come down here on Monday or Tuesday to get a little taste early, but I'm ready to eat some wings. I'm ready to watch some Nuggets basketball and ready to set the stage here with you.
I remember the first time you brought me here, and shout out to our guy Nilo as well. He was very big on helping us getting down here. And gosh, man, the buffalo garlic is just my favorite wing sauce flavor. I know it's one of your favorites.
One of my favorites for sure.
I'm looking forward to trying the Cajun dry rub tonight. That one I'm looking forward to, and then the pizza double pep. Always a classic that you go for, and then the meatball madness. I mean, I'm a meat guy, as everybody can probably tell. I love a good meat pizza. So very excited to be able to get going here. Very excited to join the folks here at Peckish as we get ready for this Denver Nuggets game. The Nuggets are in the midst of a 3-game road trip and now they're going on the road against the Atlanta Hawks, who got some reinforcements back today. Kristaps Porzingis, who's only played 12 games so far this season. I'm not sure if he's going to be in the starting lineup or not, as we get Alex Becker here popping in for Mile High Sports. What's up, Alex? Always excited to the Kristaps Porzingis. My favorite Kristaps Porzingis moments, Danny, I'm sure you can probably remember, is when Nikola Jokic scored 40 points on him in the Garden back in 2017. That's my favorite Kristaps Porzingis moment. gotta love it.
Well, yeah, mine's probably when he got beat up in his home country, but that's just because I'm a hater. And fight videos that make me laugh. So I thought that was hilarious, seeing a big guy like Kristaps getting his butt kicked. But that's besides the point. He's a great basketball player. He's played on a lot of teams, but never given Jokic a lot of trouble. So doesn't necessarily concern me tonight, but good for the Hawks.
He's going to shoot the ball. That you know about Kristaps. He's definitely a good spacer, but also like a surprisingly good switch scorer. So there's some things that Denver's going to have to worry about with regard to that. Though I do think he'll probably come off the bench in his return. He's been out due to illness. I think that they will be starting Jalen Johnson at power forward, Onyeka Okongwu at center. But they've been a surprise without Trae Young, who's been out for a significant period of time. And Trae Young, you would think would be one of the drivers for them, but it has not been the case. Without Trae Young, they have been extremely effective despite that, with Jalen Johnson averaging 23 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists on the year. He's been a triple-double machine. Somebody kind of like Nikola Jokic, who you never know what he's going to do to affect the game, but he's going to be fantastic throughout. Give me your opinion here. So this Atlanta team, a little like a little different than you would expect them to be. But they add Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They still have Dyson Daniels. They still have Zachary Risache, who they drafted #1 overall last year. Are you surprised that Atlanta has been as good as they've been?
Not surprised. I think in the early going here in the NBA, we've seen a lot of teams trying to find their feet with new guys on the roster and also missing key components of their team. So you mentioned not having Trae Young. That's been huge. But yeah, guys, like we talked about it before the show. I had forgotten Nickeil Alexander-Walker was even in Atlanta.
That's wild, right?
So, I mean, it's a great fit for him, and he's given the Nuggets fits at times.
Yeah.
So hopefully tonight is not one of those nights. I would love to see, I don't know, maybe Cam Johnson scores 50 tonight. They've had a different guy in the starting lineup score 50 on 3 separate occasions.
We probably got to talk about that too. I mean, can you imagine? Obviously the Nuggets are a talented team. Obviously they like Jokic is, of course, he's been great. First game of the season, Aaron Gordon drops 50. He's been out of the lineup for a while since then, but they show they've got some versatility, got some guys that can step up and do some things. And now Jamal Murray in this most recent game goes for 52, coming off of a questionable designation from the ankle sprain that he had, a very minor ankle sprain, because he was just fine in the next game and putting together an incredible performance. I'm curious to see how Jamal responds in this particular one, where you've got a couple of defensive guards and Dyson Daniels, who leads the NBA in steals. You've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's given him trouble in the past, although I do think that Jamal has really figured out that matchup over the course of these last few years. And then you've got some switchability on their front line with Okongwu, as I mentioned, Jalen Johnson, as I mentioned. Risache is a tall, lanky defender, and then they've got some guys coming in off the bench that will give some issues. So I'm curious to see how the Nuggets handle it. Of course, curious to see how Jamal Murray handles it, coming off of 52 points. It's in those situations, Jamal previously has struggled at times trying to fulfill what he has done before, trying to do it again and trying to catch fire as much as possible. I'm not sure if that's what's going to happen tonight. I do think, though, that Jamal has shown that he's an all-star caliber player, shows that he deserves it this year, and is absolutely somebody that's should make it in this upcoming all-star season. But it's been really weird. It's been a weird, like that the new stuff that they've got for the All-Star game is very difficult to track, even for somebody like me.
I don't know what number of players get in from what position and what conference anymore.
The fan voting,
like, matter? I don't know.
They're gonna have 3 teams that play. We do not know. So we're gonna figure it out. But tonight,
but Jamal deserves to be an All-Star. Jamal
deserves it. I mean, think about a couple of folks have talked about him as the greatest player to never make an all-star game. I think that he wants to shed that designation. I think that would be his preferred moniker, was to be Jamal Murray All-Star as opposed to Jamal Murray Best Non-All-Star, although it's an interesting moniker. He's already won a championship.
Yeah,
but
he's still Jamal Murray champion, right?
For sure.
But I think you're right. That matters to him.
Yeah.
It should matter to him, especially if he earns it. And so far this season, like you said, it gets a little nerve-wracking when you see Jamal come up lame, because he's had so many of those issues with the ankles and with his lower body. But he's been putting it on him this year, so I'm excited to see what he's got tonight.
Well, we'll see what he's got. I'm curious to see how he responds. A couple of injury notes. I know I mentioned Kristaps Porzingis is going to be back. That will change their rotation significantly, to the point where they don't necessarily have to go with a rim rolling center the entire time, although Okongwu is a little bit more versatile than that. They will have Kristaps Porzingis back as well. Spencer Jones, who has been starting in place of Aaron Gordon for the Nuggets over the course of this past week or two, he will be healthy. He sustained an injury in this last game, was unable to finish the game in the third quarter due to a right knee issue, but that is something that it looks like he's going to be just fine with. He is in the lineup tonight, and I believe starting should be just fine for the Nuggets. And they'll need him. They'll need him to guard Jalen Johnson, who has been a tremendous offensive player so far this year, one of the leading reasons why the Hawks are so good. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, also a surprising reason for why the Hawks have been so good this year. But they are a team that shares the ball. They're a team that has a defensive identity. They can do a bunch of different things, and they shoot a lot of threes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is getting those threes up this year. There will be plenty of things to discuss about that. But we're here at Peckish. We're very excited to be here at Peckish. Always look forward to our times here at Peckish. And I'm looking forward to some pizza a little bit later. Looking forward, got some beers on tap, several beers on tap. Looking forward to seeing how it goes. Danny, are you got an idea for a starter that we could start out with a little bit later?
You know what
I'm looking at Cajun fries right now. That sounds pretty good, but like not sure if it's on like the right plane for what I want to go for tonight.
Sure.
What are you looking for?
So the spinach and artichoke dip is very good. I know some people aren't into that. I think it's a great starter. They do a really good job of it here. And the bread that you dip in that spinach artichoke dip is phenomenal too, because it's just the pizza crust without anything else on it. So it's phenomenal. Garlic knots are also really good.
I mean, you can't go wrong, right?
I might want to try something new. Maybe we do try the Cajun fries, or maybe some mac bites. I'm a big mac and cheese fan. So
Buffalo
I like
bacon
mac
ranch
bites.
fries. I mean, come on, man.
You can't go wrong at Peckish.
Man.
You can't go wrong.
Awesome. So make sure to stop on down if you can, guys. We're very excited to be here. We've got some giveaways that we're looking forward to doing as well. This one was a gift. I'm not sure if we're giving this one away, but
we might be.
We'll see. But we've got a QR code that you can, as long as you have to come in and be here in house in order to scan the QR code. Can't do it on the broadcast, but make sure to come in, scan the QR code. You'll be eligible for some giveaways, and very excited to be able to do some of that. We've got some shirts. We've got some jerseys.
Like I said, we got the Joker tee. We got a couple different sizes of those. We have the NBA Jam shirts with Jamal and
those
Joker.
Are classic.
Those are great
those
ones.
Are classic.
We've also got this Maxie the Miner shirt that I like a lot. He's kind of a cartoonish Maxie the Miner.
Hey, there's the boss
guy.
Man. The boss man himself is Mr. Nate Lundy popping into the
grab?
screen.
Oh, I also grabbed one of the good old Denver Stiffs tees.
Oh,
so you can grab one of those.
Those
Denver
are my roots right there.
Well.
Those are my roots, and that's such a good color scheme. That is such a classic. So we're very excited for that. So everybody, scan that QR code. You're eligible for some giveaways and eligible for some awesome stuff that we've got going on here. So very excited for it for sure. Now we'll do some Q&A. How about that? Let's do a little bit of Q&A. I wanted to see if anybody in house wants to come up and ask a question, then absolutely available. If you're in the chat, if you're hanging out, make sure to ask a question. We'll be excited to see what comes for. It could be about tonight. It could be about the Nuggets in general. It could be about the NBA. How about where Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to get traded? I'm very curious about that. I've got some thoughts that I think other people are going to be very interested in. A team that has been in the news in the past for trade destinations, but hasn't been there lately. This is one you might be able to guess it, but we'll tease that.
I did see. I saw a trade proposal for Giannis to the Hawks.
The Hawks is an interesting one, and so like there's a couple of schools of thought. I've heard some people talk about Trae Young as the trade proposal option there, where Trae goes to Milwaukee. He's on an expiring contract, though. That's really tough. If you're Milwaukee, you have to make sure that you're getting him for the long term, right? You don't want to get him as an expiring contract. That would be ridiculous. So
100%.
You want to get him on the long term. You want to be in a situation where whoever you get for Giannis, you get to build around. So maybe it's Jalen Johnson. Maybe it's Zachary Risashek. Maybe it's some of these younger guys that then you pair Trae and Giannis together. Although I know that can be like there are some Atlanta fans that just want to continue to pop in for like you want those young guys to be around for a long time and build with Giannis, but you don't always get what you can. Beggars cannot be choosers when you're trading for a top 3 player in the NBA. Hey, we've got a question here from our guy Dan Mormon. Look at that. Hi guys, Dan here, a temporary Fort Collins visitor. We'll shout out Dan in just a little bit on what he's doing for Mile High Sports. How many points does Jamal score, and why is it more than 25? Well, good question, my guy. Dan, I think that Jamal's going to score more than 25 points tonight for a couple of reasons. One, is because he's going to get the opportunity to do so. There's like when you have Christian Brown out, when you have Aaron Gordon out, when you're starting Spencer Jones and Peyton Watson in their place, the usage rate is just going to be higher in those situations. Danny, what's been most impressive with Jamal when it comes to amping up that usage and taking on more responsibility for this Nuggets team?
Honestly, the fact that he has just been ready to answer the bell every night. And we know Jamal's not a guy who's going to go out there and complain. He has had to deal with some injuries, but he's going to put the work in. And sometimes maybe he rubs media the wrong way because they don't get to see all the work he puts in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so people think, well, why aren't you starting the season as fast? Why aren't you performing at a higher rate? Well, it can be hard sometimes when you're playing alongside Jokic too to rise to that level. But Jamal knows what he can do. Jamal knows what he can do next to Jokic. And he's had no problem showing that so far to start the season here. I think, easy for him to score over 25 tonight.
Absolutely. In the game when Aaron Gordon went down due to injury, Jamal scored 26 points in that one. In the game since outside of the one that he didn't finish, or he had the ankle injury that he suffered, he scored 26, 23, 29, 37, 24, and 52. So the lowest total has been 23 points. It is a pretty reasonable expectation to say that Jamal gets to 25. Although I will say, like I said, Dyson Daniels is a tough defender. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a tough defender. They've got some switch guys that will be challenging. So I'll be curious to see, are those guys more focused on Jokic? Are those guys more focused on crowding the paint, making sure that that's as difficult for him as possible? Do they allow Jamal to get going as a result? Or are they really focused on cutting off Jamal Murray from the scoring? That'll be an interesting kind of give and take throughout this game. Any other questions that you think?
I actually had something come to mind when you were talking earlier, and then you brought up there just again that perimeter defense of the Atlanta Hawks. We've talked about it in the past with the Minnesota Timberwolves, other teams that have successfully defended the Nuggets and made it difficult for them. Are you more concerned? Let me back up. You wrote a piece for milehighsports.com the other day. The Denver Nuggets have let go of the rope on defense. We've seen the Nuggets have issues with defense in past years. It can be frustrating at times, but we know that their offense is so electric that they can usually make up for it. Does a good defensive team worry you more against the Nuggets, or an elite offensive team that they have to try to slow down versus them overcoming a really good defensive team?
It's a great question, and you can go a couple of different ways. Where if you're a great offensive team going against the Nuggets, you're probably thinking, okay, this is barbecue chicken. This is a scenario where you feel like, okay, we're going to get what we want tonight. All we have to do is just get a few stops here or there. I'm curious who the top rankings are for some of these top teams on either end of the floor. If you go for offense, by the way, Nuggets are by far, per clean of the glass, the top offensive team in the NBA. 126 offensive rating. The next highest is 123.3 for the New York Knicks.
Pretty good.
But some of the other teams on that list, Houston, Boston, OKC, the Lakers, Minnesota, Toronto, Phoenix, and San Antonio. So they've had some success in those cases, certainly against Minnesota, certainly against Phoenix. Against San Antonio, they struggled, but they mostly can outscore teams. It's the defense where you really have to lock in and really have to focus on that end, where that could be a little bit more challenging. Dallas just gave them some issues where Dallas was able to get going despite being a bad offensive team. Denver turned them into a good offensive team, and then Dallas down the stretch was able to really help flummox Denver. They really struggled in some of those things. Golden State also was able to outscore Denver despite not being an elite offensive team, but they had enough stops down the stretch. So I think the elite defensive teams are going to give Denver a little bit more struggle. But that's also a situation where it's kind of it's a small sample size at this point. Denver hasn't played a bunch of top 10 offensive, top 10 defenses just to really kind of figure that out between those two. So it's a good question, though. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are.
And during the season, I definitely think that they'll benefit from going up against those tougher defensive matchups.
Undoubtedly.
That actually make their offense find things that work when they do take away the two-man game, or when Jokic does get double, triple in the paint. So they know, oh, hey, if we run this action with Cam Johnson and Peyton Watson, that actually gives us a really great shot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't put too much stress on the guys that are carrying the whole load the majority of the time.
It's a good point. It's like you just have to, like, sharing the burden, sharing the responsibility is an extremely important thing for this Nuggets team, especially when you've got a couple of guys in Jokic and now Jamal Murray who are carrying a lot of burden. They have a lot of things that they have to do, especially when you've got a couple of guys out. You really concentrate on, like, how many of those other guys, like, is it Tim Hardaway Jr. popping in and scoring 15? Is it Bruce Brown taking some pressure off of Jamal Murray and having 10 assists on one night? Is it Jonas Valanciunas, of course,
Sure.
somebody who is coming off the bench, being a double-digit guy and grabbing 6 to 7 rebounds or so and just really giving them a boost? Like, there's plenty of opportunity across the board for that. So I'm curious to see how that happens. Jeffrey in Facebook says, any word on Christian Brown's return time? No specific word yet, but he was doing some stuff on the court today. I know that Katie Wingy was broadcasting that. She made sure to highlight that he's doing some good things, some stationary on-court work as he tries to get back. I believe that Christian was injured on November 13th. It's either 12th or 13th. And so from that point, it's about a 6-week timetable. So that's where people should really be thinking about. The time that I had been thinking was, okay, he's probably got another 3 weeks or so. He's probably about halfway through in terms of that recovery time.
Yeah,
so
I thought when it had happened, we talked about it being around Christmas.
Yeah.
That he'll be back.
Yeah.
So
still in line with that. I don't think that any stationary work is really going to be super indicative of him getting back. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what they can continue to do and whether he could beat Aaron Gordon back, who is, I think, going to be out at about the same time. I'd be curious to see whether that turns into that. Okay. Should we do some live bets? Should we do some
let's talk some bets
stuff? Yeah, I think that'll be interesting. Per FanDuel at the current moment, the Nuggets are -4. They are 4-point favorites against the Atlanta Hawks. That still includes Kristaps Porzingis coming back. It includes Spencer Jones, of course. Hey, shout out Spencer Jones. I'm sure he's moving the line a ton. That's a joke. But he's going to be there as well. And so there's a couple of lines that I wanted to point out. We had that mention from Dan Mormon about Jamal Murray 25+. That is +106. You can actually earn back some money on that particular line. That's a pretty good one. The one that I really am thinking about is Nickeil Alexander-Walker threes.
Okay.
That's the one that I had circled. Nickeil Alexander-Walker 4+ made threes is +210. I don't know if you go with 3 made threes because that's -128.
Sure.
But you get a plus
that
number.
would be a nice one to throw in a little same game parlay if you like.
100%. And if I go,
because even at -120, 128, -128, you're still gonna get a little bit of juice added on there.
You'll get a little bit. And also in the games where Nickeil has attempted, we'll say at minimum 8 threes. He is getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Like he's still getting in a whole bunch of threes, making, I think, 50% of the time he's making that number that I'm talking about. So there's I think he's going to get up the threes is what I'm really trying to say tonight. The Nuggets, they know that they're going to try to crash the paint. They're going to try to protect against Jalen Johnson. 8+ assists for Jalen Johnson also strikes me as a pretty good one. That is +132. So there's a couple of bets there. And then let's get a Jokic one here going. I wonder what the line is for triple-double for Jokic.
I just looked at it, Ryan. It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
We're on the same page.
-150.
-150. Like I'm not sure if those are great odds. If I'm going to be honest,
no, but like I said with the Nickeil Alexander-Walker threes, if you're a same game parlay threat, person that likes to do that, throw a Jokic triple-double in there because they obviously think in Vegas he's going to get it.
And then the other thing is that if you're attempting a lot of threes as a team, which I think Atlanta will tonight. If you're attempting a lot of threes, lower percentage in terms of and a higher number of rebound potential, I think. So that'll be an opportunity for Nikola to potentially get some boards. And that was the one that he missed out on last time, where he only had 8 rebounds. Very rare. And he started against Jay Huff. He started shout out Jay.
Yeah. I love seeing all the former Nuggets centers go off and just play better than they ever played in Denver behind Jokic, but maybe he rubbed off some of that magic on him. I don't know.
Gotta love it. By the way, I want to make sure that we mention this on the air.
Yes.
Dan Mormon and you're gonna be
Yep.
there too. Up in Fort Collins, the state championship games are starting. That one's at 3. And like I think is it?
It's 3A, 4A, 5A.
So
all tomorrow on Saturday.
So it's not at the Broncos Stadium, is it?
No,
not this time.
Nope. Up at Canvas in Fort Collins, which is a nice stadium.
Of course, yeah.
Smaller than the Broncos,
Yeah.
of course, but a nice stadium. So yeah, it's going to be exciting for those kids to get up there. We were down in Pueblo for the 1A and 2A championships last Saturday.
That's a haul.
And those games were exciting
That's
too.
what Mile High Sports does, man.
We're just all over.
Dan Mormon is
Dan Mormon.
an absolute machine.
Salute to him.
We appreciate him and what he does for Colorado Preps and with Mile High here. They're going to be going live, and so they're going to do a pregame show live on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel at 8:00 in the morning for all 3 games. And then after every single game, they're going to be going post-game live on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel. So that's 3A, 4A, and 5A.
And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan and everything goes like it went last week in Pueblo, we'll have the winning coach and the most outstanding player from each of those state title games when they wrap up.
That's super
pretty cool.
So you're getting the best possible coverage, like you really are.
We've been doing a great job. Credit to Dan again for covering Colorado Preps as well as he does. But we've been at Raising Cane's all over the state.
Oh my gosh.
Previewing all the playoff games as we go and traveling around, and that's been a lot of fun. So we've had some of the kids already on the show. We've had Ralston Valley on. Yeah. We've had some Dakota Ridge kids on.
I'm still mad at Cherry Creek.
Yeah,
I'm still upset with them.
Windsor and Pomona on. So yeah, it's tough. That was a good game. We were watching that while we were in Pueblo. That Fowler Cherry Creek game, but
insane.
Great slate of games stacked up for tomorrow in Fort Collins. So come out if you can, and if not, watch the coverage on the MHS YouTube channel. Dan Mormon's doing a great job. Here, right now,
we got $4 shots.
$4 Jello shots here. At
oh my gosh! Oh, we've also got $15 live or $15 large cheese pizzas. And $15 Coors Light pitchers. So I know what I will be ingesting in the coming minutes, in the coming hours. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap up here.
Turn it over to the
very excited. We're going to turn it over to the Nuggets as they get going here. Nuggets, Hawks, getting started. Thank you for everybody for popping into Peckish. It's getting packed in here, so very excited for that. Stop on in. Thank you, Danny, for producing. Thank you to Peckish for having us out. And make sure to scan that QR code once you get in. Very excited, folks. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Pickaxe and Roll. We'll be back post-game. Very excited for it.